Hey there everyone, welcome back to another day of our Summer Reading Club programming, and today we are going to be making something called ice cream in a bag. Personally, goodness gracious, personally one of my absolute favorite activities to do, and it's really awesome because when you think of ice cream you traditionally think, oh, you just buy it in a tub like Ben & Jerry's, anything like that, Chapman's, or go down to the local Oleos here in Camrose. But you can make your very own ice cream from home, and I promise you, if you do it correctly, it tastes really good. So, what you'll need for our activity today is to grab 2 bags. Now, I would recommend grabbing Ziploc, the name brand Ziploc bags, just like so, as you see here. And why I say that is because you want bags that have a really good and reliable seal at the top, so what allows it to close really nicely. Because if it doesn't seal properly, when we are going to be shaking our ice cream to get it to set, it will go absolutely everywhere, which we don't want and makes a really big mess. So you will need to grab just a medium-sized sandwich bag, as you see here, and a large-sized freezer bag, just like this one. Now, once you have your bags, set them off to the side, and we'll go through our ingredients here. You will need 1 cup of half and half cream. If your mom and dad are big into coffee or tea, anything like that, they may have some half and half cream lying in and around the house or in the fridge. If not, just grab it from the grocery store, and as I said, you need 1 cup worth of half and half. You need 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract. So just like this, 1 full teaspoon and another half. You will need some regular white sugar that you use for baking, just your granulated sugar here. And with that, you will need 1 tablespoon. And I don't have any tablespoons today, but I do have a teaspoon, and it's 3 teaspoons for every 1 tablespoon. So we're going to be putting in 3 teaspoons worth of our sugar today. We will also need some salt. I'm just using some table salt because that just happens to be what we have in and around here at the library. But any salt works okay, and we will need 1/4 of a cup worth of salt. And we will also need, our last ingredient is ice. We will need about half a cup worth of ice because we are going to be filling our freezer bags halfway full of ice. So if you have a little more, a little less, no problem, but make sure you have enough ice for today's craft, or activity, sorry. And last but certainly not least, I would recommend grabbing either some winter gloves or some really sturdy and thick oven mitts here, because when we are going to be handling the ice, we're going to be adding salt to it to make it a lot colder to the touch, and you can actually burn yourself if you hold on to the same spot of the ice for too long, which we don't want. So that's why the winter gloves come in handy, or these amazingly fashionable oven mitts. So don't worry about how they look or how silly you look when you're wearing them, but make sure to have some, just because it's very important to keep your fingers safe. But to get started today, what you will want to do is, with your sandwich bag, what we're going to be doing is filling up 1 cup worth of our half and half cream, and we're going to be putting that into our little mini sandwich bags here. Now, I have a bowl right here because I've done this activity many times in my youth, and boy, oh boy, I am really bad for spilling everything everywhere. So if you need to have either a table under you or just a little bowl like so to make it a little bit easier on you, I would recommend it. And for me as well, I'm not quite going to fill this up halfway. I'm going to fill this up halfway, pardon me, just because that way I can pour it in my bag nicely without it spilling everywhere. And I'll just put the rest of the half and half cream in afterwards. Just like that. And we'll put in just a little bit more to make sure we have 1 full cup of half and half cream. And when it comes to making your ice cream in a bag, if you happen to have a partner or a parent, a sibling, a friend, anyone like that that can help you out today, that makes a lot of difference because one of you can hold the bag, the other can put in the ingredients. But if there's just one of you, make sure to be nice and careful and patient because you don't want to put in too little or too much of any one of the ingredients, because as I'm sure you know, baking of any sort is a science, and if you add too much or too little of one thing, it can make your ice cream look like something completely different, and it wouldn't turn out as ice cream at all. So be very, very careful with that. Now, once you have your half and half cream here, what you'll want to do is grab your sugar, and as I mentioned, you'll need 1 tablespoon. I don't have any tablespoon measurements today, so I'm going to be using these teaspoons, and I need 3 teaspoons for every 1 tablespoon. Just one sec, I have to open the bag first. Again, hence why it helps if you happen to have a partner to help you out here. 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to put in a little bit more, because the more sugar you put in, the sweeter your ice cream will be, just like so. Now I'll put my sugar off to the side for now. And we need to then grab our vanilla, and you will need 1.5 teaspoons, so 1 full teaspoon and another half teaspoon worth of your vanilla extract. And that's what gives it its really, really nice sweet vanilla flavor. There we go. So this is 1. And 1/2. There we go, just like that. Now, once you have all 3 of your ingredients in your bag here, so that was, just to recap, your 1 cup of half and half cream, your 1 tablespoon worth of sugar, or 3 teaspoons, and your 1.5 teaspoons worth of vanilla extract. And you will want to make sure that the bag is nice and sealed, just like so. And you want to make sure the air is all out of your bag, because that can definitely make sure if there's too much air in there, it will keep your ice cream from freezing as quickly. So if there's still a little bit of air, what you can do, a little trick, is just open the edge here and then squeeze out all that air, making sure not to squeeze out the insides of your bag. Close it, and just like that, the seal is good to go, and will be good to shake for later. So we'll just put that off to the side for now. And next, what we're going to want to do is grab our large freezer bag here, and we're going to be putting some ice in it. Now, we just want to fill about halfway worth of ice. So nothing too crazy, but making sure you have enough here. I'm trying to think the easiest way to do this. There we go. There we go, just about like that. And after it's full halfway, you can put the ice off to the side for now. And next up, our last ingredient for today is to grab our salt. And we're going to be putting that with the ice. Now, something really interesting with salt and ice, when you add a salt to ice, it makes the ice a lot colder to the touch. And that is because around ice, there is this kind of, I want to say, clear film worth of water. So like kind of like this clear layer, like a blanket worth of water on all of the ice. And with the salt itself, it actually takes that little layer of water away. Meaning, after not having that layer of water, the little bit of melted ice on the outside, it will keep the actual, pardon me, I just need there we go, my towel. It will keep the ice's freezing point, so the point at which it freezes, the temperature, a lot lower. So therefore it takes a lower or a lot colder temperature to freeze the ice, which means that it is a lot colder this time around. So once you have added your ice and your salt, you're just going to want to give it a little shake. And now the salt is nice and mixed up with our ice here. Next, we will be grabbing our wonderful set of ingredients here, the actual ice cream itself, and being nice and careful, popping that just on the inside of the bag. Now making sure both seals are completely closed as you see here, and just squeeze all the air out as much as you can here. Close the rest of it. Now comes the really fun part, and can be kind of hard at times too, where we are going to be shaking our ice cream. Now, in shaking it, what that does is it mixes the ice cream around with the actual ice and the salt here, and that is what gets our ice cream in the middle to set and start to become a little bit frozen, which is what gets your ice cream ready to go. Just as you see it when you buy it from, say, Oleo's here in Camrose, or when you buy it in a tub of ice cream at the store. Now, put on your nice and fashionable winter gloves or oven mitts. Don't worry on how silly you look. You're just gonna grab your bag and give it a shake. Now, you will want to shake your bag for anywhere from let's say about 4 minutes to 6 minutes. Now, the time it takes in between there, because of course 2 minutes is a big gap in between 4 and 6 minutes, that will just depend on if your ice is cold enough and freezing your ice cream in a bag here. Because I remember when I've done this craft in the past, or this activity, sorry, it's taken probably about 15 minutes to make, 10 minutes to prepare, and 5 minutes to shake. But when I was doing this earlier today, it only took me about 4 minutes and 20 seconds when I was shaking it. And again, these oven mitts and gloves will protect your hands. Make a little game out of it. Just shake, 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 shake. Sing a song in your head if you want to. And if you stop for a moment, you can start to see your middle bag, so the sandwich bag in the middle with your ice cream in it. I did air quotes, but you can't see with my oven mitts. But it will actually start to freeze a little bit, which is really cool. And that's how it becomes more of a solid, which means you can then eat it. And remember, just keep shaking. And make sure the seal stays nice and sturdy on it. It's a good workout, that's for sure. There we go, and my ice cream is slowly starting to solidify, so I'd say probably another minute worth of shaking. And I remember when I was younger, I used to make ice cream in a bag all the time. And when I first learned to make it, I was actually at a summer camp with about another, I would say, 75 to 100 other kids, just like me. And it was really cool because we all got to learn how to make ice cream in a bag that day. And our camp counselors gave us these bags and said, shake, shake, shake. And it was awesome because there were about 100 of us all in a single gym. And we were all trying to shake our own ice cream. And it made such a crazy loud sound, but it was so fun and exciting, and it's a memory I'll treasure and remember forever. Oh, we're almost there. Almost. Just keep shaking. Again, remember, sing it in your head. Don't worry how silly you look. It's all good. And I promise it's worth it. almost. Okay. And if you find that you are shaking, and your ice cream isn't freezing, that means that the ice itself in the middle isn't cold enough. So you either need to add more ice or more salt. And you know what? I think mine is now ready. So, take your fashionable oven mitts or gloves off and open it. Now this is where you have to be really careful, and why I say that is because you want to grab the bag on the inside and make sure to wipe it all the way off, and that will take away, because we're not worried about the water on the outside, we're worried about the salt. Because if the salt gets in with your ice cream, my goodness, it tastes terrible. Salty ice cream, not always been my favorite kind of flavor, but I mean, especially with this salty ice cream when it's just vanilla, it'll be really strong if there's too much salt in there. So, we are going to grab a towel and then just reach in and grab our ice cream here. As you can see, it's nice and solid and nice and set. And we are just going to wipe off our bag here with as much detail as we can. Be nice and patient here, because we really want to avoid that salty flavor in the middle of our ice cream. Just like that. And one of the easiest ways the salt gets in is if you have any salt or anything like that on your fingers, and then you proceed to open the actual top seal of the bag. So make sure your fingers are nice and wiped off, and then you just have to go on the side of the seal, on the top, and then just wipe it like that. Now, when you open it, there shouldn't be any salt in your ice cream, and I know you can't see it very well with the shine and the glare here, but it makes a nice solid ice cream. Now you can see that it doesn't actually quite look like ice cream yet because it's still really solid. Basically all you want to do is just put it in a bowl, start mixing it with a spoon, and it will get that really nice creamy texture that wonderful ice cream has. Now, of course, this is just basic vanilla ice cream. If you use Google as a resource, there are tons of other flavors you can add as long as you become an expert using this kind of method. And you can add sprinkles, chocolate syrup, anything like that as you want. I know for me, ice cream isn't complete without a little bit of rainbow sprinkles on the top, but you can add whatever or as little as you want to your ice cream today. But I hope you all enjoyed this really fun activity. As I said, it's always been one of my absolute favorites, and I hope you have an amazing day today. It is so warm outside here in Camrose, and I mean, my goodness, this is a fantastic way to cool off while staying inside in the nice air conditioning for today. So as I said, hope you all have an amazing day, and bon appetit, everyone. Bye, guys.